Hi, today we're going to talk about recipes and making sense of a recipe. So we all know that recipes are really useful and that there are thousands and thousands around online in cookbooks, and a lot of money is made out of writing recipes by different individuals and groups, and there's companies that just spend hours and hours doing these things. And lots of food magazines now. We have television shows with professional cooks using recipes and amateur cooks competing on these shows as well. So how do we make sense of it? So we start with fresh produce, either from a garden or from the farmer's market or the supermarket or some home delivery service that we may have been tapping into during lockdown. And then we follow a list of instructions to get to a finished product. Some people don't use recipes and they just make it up. If you want consistency, especially when you're cooking desserts and cakes, it's often a good idea to use a recipe. So let's have a little look. So a recipe is a list of ingredients and instructions for preparing food, including a name or a title. So we want to know what it is. So when I'm searching for a recipe, I want to know what it is. And there's a few other things that I tend to look for. A photo is a great tool nowadays because we always like to see what it's going to look like. Does it look appetizing? Does it look like something I want to actually eat? And then a list of ingredients. So this is really important so it's clear, so the reader can actually see, okay, these are the ingredients that are in it. This is what I've got at home. No, I need to go and buy those few things. And it includes quantities and sometimes some preliminary preparation. So it might say 1 onion finely chopped, 1 carrot diced, 1 clove of garlic crushed. So there's some things to do before you start cooking, and it saves putting it in the method. So then the method is the instructions of how to do it. So this is how we prepare the ingredients and the process in which we cook. And there's usually an indication of the cooking temperature and time. So if you're baking, it'll say preheat the oven to 180 degrees or whatever temperature it is. Down the bottom or in the process part of the method, it will say, bake for 35 minutes. Or it might be something that you're sauteing on a fry pan, medium heat. So that's your cooking temperature, and saute for 5 minutes. So it gives you an estimated time. There could be a list of special equipment. So it might be that you need a paring knife. It might be that you need a steamer or a bamboo steamer, or something like a bay mix or something to process your soup, to puree it. We might need a blender. So at least you can see, oh, I don't have that equipment. I can't use that recipe. I'll find something different. And an indication of the number of serves. So that's something that's really important for me because I have a big family. I've got 4 children. So I need a recipe that serves 6. So often recipes only serve 4, or sometimes they only serve 2. So I need to make sure that it's going to be the right quantity for me. And the same with you might be the opposite. You might only have 2 people in your house and you don't want to cook a recipe that serves 6 or 8 people. So here's an example of a recipe. You know that the recipes I tend to give you have got numbered instructions for the method. I just tend to prefer to do that, especially when teaching people how to cook, because it's clear and it's really just easy to follow. So we have a title, Berry Oatmeal Muffins, and it says it makes 12 small muffins. So, if I was cooking and going to take a batch of muffins to my friends and I also wanted a batch for home, I might decide to double it because I might want to take 12 somewhere and I might want to keep 12 at home. When you got 4 kids, a batch of muffins goes very quickly. So, a list of ingredients with the quantities, also then instructions, preheat the oven to 200 degrees. Then we're going to be doing some sifting and then stirring and then mixing. Some special instructions here, like do not overmix. It's really important making muffins, otherwise they become tough and heavy. You want them to be nice and light. Other things it might say to spoon into muffin cups or the muffin tin with paper liners. So that's with your patty cake cases. And it tells you how long to cook it for and then to leave it cool. It's a bit confusing here. It says leave to cool, serve warm. So why would you do that? I'm not sure why they did that. But, you can either let it cool down and eat them later, or you can serve them warm, which is obviously either way is delicious. The other thing you might decide one day is you only really want 6, so you might want to halve the recipe. So, either making this 75 grams if you're halving it, or doubling it to 300 grams is a way of doing these things too. And we'll spend a bit of time doing that. But these are really important as well, abbreviations in recipes. So G means grams. That's used a lot in recipes. So it might say 125 grams of butter, or it might say 250 grams of chicken. Kilograms is more if we're actually cooking bigger quantities of things. Milliliters, ml, you'll see for 250 mils of water or stock, milk, something like that. Liters. Then we've got teaspoon is a small t with an SP. Tablespoon usually has a capital, excuse me, a capital T with a BS or a BSP on the end. So that would be tablespoon. And then we have C for cup, cm for centimeters. You might sort of say, where would you use that in a recipe? Often it is for the size that food needs to be chopped. So it might say, cut your carrot into 1 centimeter cubes, or it might say dice your chicken into 2 centimeter pieces. Then we've got SR for self-raising flour and degrees Celsius. So I've attached a couple of worksheets for you to do. One is about the abbreviations and interpreting a recipe. The other one is to do with your wet and dry cooking methods to see how much information you've absorbed. So if you need to, go back and look at some of the other weeks to get your answers. But it's basically just 2 columns matching up. Is it a wet or like what kind of cooking method it is according to the instructions. So see how you go. It's more just to see, whether I'm giving you enough information or not. And feel free to email me if you need. But have fun. We'll try and do a bit more cooking this week, and look forward to seeing you when you're on site. Okay, bye.